All right, welcome to our mini lesson on the diamond math puzzles. So these puzzles are actually to prepare us for our next lesson, but it's a nice simpler way instead of having all the algebra in there. Normally I don't print out the worksheets, I just do the worksheet from my computer, but my screen sharing wasn't working very well. And I wanted to show you the directions. The directions say complete the diamond puzzles. The top cell contains the product. So the top cell contains the product. The bottom cell contains the sum. So the bottom cell contains the sum. Product, again, that's multiplication. Sum is addition. So I just kind of wanted to remind you of what the directions are before we get started. I went ahead and pre-drew them so it wouldn't take quite so long as I'm doing these for you, with you. Diamond math puzzles. So I've got two terms, and it says the top contains the product. So one of the great things about learning on your own at your house is, yes, you can use your phone for a calculator. Yay! If you need to use a calculator, go ahead. And obviously, you can use your phone because I'm not there to yell at you for it. So product means I'm going to multiply -4 times 2. That's going to give me a -8. So -8 goes in that part of the puzzle. Down here goes our sum. Down here goes our sum, meaning I'm going to add these two together. -4 plus 2, it's going to give me a -2. If you can't remember how to add and subtract integers when there are negatives involved, use the calculator if you need to, all right? Just double check your work, make sure it makes sense. So that's the basic for how these puzzles work. I'll also do number 2. So let's see, up here goes the sum, so I'm going to multiply 1 times 10. That gives me 10. 1 plus 10 gives me 11. So sometimes our sum is actually going to be larger than our product. So that's basically how these puzzles work. And it's a puzzle because later, instead of just these two numbers missing, sometimes they'll have this number missing. So then we've got to figure out, all right, I know this plus this, when I add them together, it's going to give me a 4. So -5 plus what gives me a 4. Let's see, -5 plus 4. That's going to be a 9. Let's double check that work. 9 plus a -5, or 9 minus 5 is 4. Yep, that one works. So now I've got to do the product. 9 times -5 is -45. Again, like with this whole unit, these puzzles are easier when you remember your times tables, but you can work through and figure it out even when you don't remember those times tables. All right, problem 12. And that's the same as the last one. I'm going to skip that one. Let's take a look at 13. This time it has the product on one of our starter terms. So I can ask myself, 8 times what? 8 times what number is going to give me 16? 8 times what gives me 16? Okay, I know 2 goes there. A 2 is going to go there. And then I can find the sum. So 8 plus 2, that gives me 10. So that's how you fill it out when different numbers are missing. On 16 through the rest of them, 16 through 28, it gives us the product and the sum, and you have to find the two terms that go with it. So that's where we really start to get prepped for our next assignment. So I asked myself, all right, I've got numbers. What numbers multiply together to make 28? See, 1 times 28, 2 times 14, 3 doesn't work, 4 times 7, wait a minute. So then I start to look, okay, when I add these together, do they give me 11? If I add these together, if I add these two together, it gives me 11. So I can tell a 4 and a 7 are going to go there because 4 times 7 is 28 and 4 plus 7 is 11. And it's okay if you have your 7 here and your 4 there. It's okay if you have those reversed. That's totally fine. Okay, I like these. Let's take a look at the next one. Let's see, my product is 33. So I'm going to ask myself, what numbers can I multiply together to give me a 33? Okay, what numbers, when I multiply them, give me a 33? Ooh, but when I add them, it's going to be a -14. This one's not negative, and that one is. That tells me that both of my numbers, when I multiply them together, both of these terms are going to be negative, so that it gives me a negative times a negative is a positive. When I add the two negatives together, look at that, -14. So let's see, 1 times 33 gives me 33. 2 times, nope, 2 doesn't work. Let's see, 3 times 11. And I know these are both going to have to be negative. Let's see. Negative 3 times negative 11. Yep, that's positive 33. How about when I add them? Negative 3 plus a negative 11. Yep, that gives me negative 14. So I know I've got negative 3 and negative 11 go there. Now again, these two numbers can be switched. That's fine. So when you're checking the answer key, it's okay if yours are switched differently. All right, let's take a look at problem 18. First, make sure I wrote it down correctly. All right, I've got a negative up there and a negative down here. So I know if I multiply these two terms, I'm getting a negative. So I know that one of these terms here has to be a negative. And if I look at the sum, since when I add them together, I get a negative number, that lets me know that my biggest number, when I multiply them together, my biggest number is going to be a negative. So let's see, what numbers can I multiply together to get negative 66? 1 times negative 66, 2 times negative 33, that should work. Let's see, 3 times negative 22. All right, I can multiply, each time I multiply these, it gets that. But I know I'm not getting close to that negative 5 yet. See, 3, 4, 66 isn't divisible by 4, it's not divisible by 5. How about 6? Yeah, it's divisible by 6. So 6 times negative 11. Okay, 6 times negative 11, I multiply, my product is negative 66. When I add these two together, it does give me that negative 5 that I'm looking for. Yay! So I know the numbers that go there are 6 and negative 11. Okay, so that's how you do the diamond math puzzles. Try them on your own. Actually write out this work if you need to. Again, this assignment, this whole unit is easier if you know your multiplication tables, but if you don't, that's okay. Use that calculator to help you find out what things can you multiply together to get your product. Okay. All right, good luck. Remember, I've got office hours, and you can also email your teacher anytime, and we'll get back to you. All right, good luck. Thank you.